breaking down the film, sitting as a former player and watching the Giants. And I'll tell you, and I'm going to give you a lesson that Belichick taught me. Okay? I'm going to give you a lesson he taught me when he went down and saw Jimmy Johnson in the Keys. He goes down every year. They talk shop, goes on the boat. I've been down there a couple times when Bill's gone down. When I lived in Florida, Bill would go down, and so would Saban. All the coaches. Sean Payton went down. A lot of new coaches, especially from the college ranks. They go down and they talk to Jimmy. They'll go on the boat. They'll sit there for a couple of days. Jimmy's got a guest house, and you can sit there and you can listen to Belichick talk. And I sat there and just listened. So my perspective on looking, it's funny, my perspective on looking at teams today versus when I was in the game, I didn't have the clarity that Bill did. And I wish I did when I was a player that he did. His biggest formula, Belichick's, for approaching and attacking a team is finding the weakness on a particular group setting. D-line, linebackers, corners, safeties. Your tackles aren't good. Your center struggles getting the ball up. Your quarterback tips passes off, going like this. All kinds of stuff. Tight ends do quirky things when they block and release. There's all kinds of things and little keys that you see. Splits are, for a defensive lineman, splits are essential in telling us what a team wants to do, either running inside, getting out in the perimeter. Setting the edges is going to be important. But to me, the key, I'm going to tell you what I think the Giants do poorly. And I watched 3 22s, okay? 22s is the coach's version of a team because I get it through the NFL. And I watched it. I get it through NFL films too. That Giant team can't cover tight ends. They struggle massively on covering tight ends. I think they had a problem with it against the Vikings. The Hawkinson kid, he was running free. They could not defend him, the Giants. He was I thought they should have, instead of trying to establish Justin Jefferson, they needed to establish him more and get him. He should have had 14 catches. The Giant linebackers are not very good when it comes to covering tight ends. To me, that's the key. And you got one of the top 3. And what makes him like Kittle and the kid in Baltimore, they can block, they can catch. They got Goddard's got a nose for the end zone like Kittle does in San Francisco. Get Goddard going. I do not believe the Giants can defend him. There's not a chance. There's not a player on that. And I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be able to chip him and to slow him down. I think he's more physical than him. That Thibodeau dude's not the biggest guy on the planet. And I think Dallas Goedert I think you get Goddard going in this game. Okay? Get Dallas Goedert going. Now, play action is going to be a key here. How healthy is Jalen? Or how healthy is Miles Sanders? You know, Mike Missanelli came on last week, and you know what he was saying? Sanders is banged up a little bit in his knee. Okay, so you got a quarterback with a shoulder injury, and you got a running back with a knee injury. You need to establish that running game to get Goddard going too. So to me, if I'm putting a game plan together, I'm running Goddard right at him. I want to find out. And by the way, my first 6 passes are going to be to him. And eventually, they're going to bring 2 down on him, and they're going to bring a safety down, and that's where you get AJ coming across the middle or Devonta coming across the middle on a seam route, and he goes to the house. You get Dallas Goedert going, you could beat the Giants by 30-20. You could beat them by 10. And if you get Miles going, shit, you could beat them 30-10. I think Goddard's the key here. I think he's the key. Okay? The New York Giants, man, they cannot cover tight ends. And I only watched 3 games last night, and I'm breaking it down. I'm like, man, Goddard's going to kill this team. And I don't know why the Vikings didn't try to establish him more. And you know what they got away from the Vikings? They got away from Delvin Cook more in the second half too, because they panicked. That coaching staff panicked a little bit in the second half. They started panicking, and they started throwing the ball deep. Did you see the last pass of the game? It was an under route to the tight end. You went to him too late. You didn't even throw for the first down on fourth down. You threw to him. That is the essential key in what the Vikings saw late in the game. They started seeing the tight end can't be covered. But instead of throwing for the sticks on fourth down, they threw to the tight end under the sticks. You're like this. What a dumb play. Fourth down, it was 3rd and 10. You had to at least throw to the sticks. They had some shit play calling and some stupid decision-making by Kirk Cousins. I would say with about 7.5 minutes left of that Viking game, Brian Dable and his coaching staff and Martindale and them dudes completely outcoached them. I mean, they had them guessing on everything. And when the Vikings figured it out, with about 6 minutes left at the tight end's wide open, it was too late. It was too late. You watch the progression on how they went from Jefferson in the first half of that game to where you started seeing it pick up more towards the tight end as the game proceeded. And then, but the last catch by the Vikings was made by the Viking tight end. They established them too late. And I'll tell you one thing the Giants did that was really good. Okay? This is where they really played well. Their 2 interior tackles showed up and really made a factor in stopping the run. And here, again, the problem that you have with Cousins and a first-year head coach is that, hey, man, even if you have 25 carries, 3 a carry, that's not great. Keep plugging away. Keep pounding the rock. Keep pounding the rock. Keep pounding. Because you know what you at least do? You make them cognizant that you're still trying to go there. Go into Justin Jefferson and trying to establish. Like if the Eagles, get this, if the Eagles try establishing Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown right out of the gate, they'll lose. Because those are high turnover plays. And I don't think Jalen's going there. I think your sideline coaches might, but Jalen's not going there. Jalen's not going to – I don't believe Jalen turns the ball over. The key's going to be Daniel Jones if he can protect the ball, not Hurts. Okay? I believe Jalen Hurts has protected the football as good as any quarterback, and I mean them all. The one thing that Jalen Hurts has done better than any quarterback in the National Football League this year has protect the football, not make the stupid high percentage turnover play, and created an offense totally tailored to him that gets guys. Here's the one thing the offense does do because of Hurts, not the sideline. Because of Hurts, Jalen gets dudes open. He gets dudes open because he runs and he breaks down the perimeter. Teams can't set the edge against the Eagles. Teams are I'll tell you what teams are more in fear of. 3rd and 10 against Philly. Okay? How many times did you and I watch the Eagles this year and go like this? By the midpoint of the season, weren't you doing this on 3rd and 8? He's getting this. Could somebody do something for me? What were the Eagles on 3rd down in the NFL this year? They had to be number 1. That is one of 2 most important elements in an offense. Okay? 2 most important. Don't turn the ball over. And 3rd down efficiency. Okay? They have to be offensively the best in the NFL. You and I were sitting here watching this game. We're sitting here watching the game midpoint of the season going like this, aren't we? Jesus criminy. 3rd and 8? This guy never doesn't pick that up. And then you get Allen or you get Mahomes, you get Burrow, high percentage turnover plays, results into turnovers. Now, those guys are so gifted as passers, they could throw themselves out of trouble. Jalen doesn't give the offense an ability to do that. They don't. How many times have you seen the Eagle offense in trouble this year? The Eagles are 4th and 3rd down. It's fucking great. That's unbelievably, that's the quarterback. Dude, they're almost 50% on 3rd down. That's insanity. And when you combine the fact that Hurts doesn't turn the ball over, you can't lose. That is the most impressive thing that we have spoken about Jalen Hurts. Don't turn the ball over, and on 3rd down, you're almost 50-50 on getting it. How many teams do you tune on and you go like this? 3 for 10 on 3rd down, 2 for 11, 5 for 16. You watch the Eagles, they're 5 of 10 on 3rd down. You're like, wow. And they don't turn the pill over. And you add to the fact on the other side of the ball, they're not surrendering big points, and they're sacking the guy. The only element that's a weakness. So here, if I'm the Giants, all the things that I just said, listen to this. Well, 3rd down is the key to this game. If you're Brian Daboll and Martindale, the key to this game is 3rd down. If they're in 3rd and short, you're not beating them. No chance. No chance. You have got to play you've got to win 1st and 2nd down against Philly. And throwing to your wideouts to establish them out of the gate, like you see them doing these last couple weeks, is a massive mistake. You're throwing into the teeth of the strength of the Giants if you do that. This is attacking weakness. The Giants can't cover tight ends. You've got the best and one of them in the NFL. And by the way, once Goedert starts loosening up that middle zone, then you can keep running the ball, go to Goedert, run the ball, go to Goedert. Do it, a turn-in pass to AJ. See what he can do in open space. The zone will start doing this. Watch. Here's your D-line. Here's your linebackers. They're going to be so worried about Goedert out of the gate because they have a deficiency at linebacker. They're so nervous they're not nervous about AJ. They're nervous about Goedert because their entire linebacking core can't cover this tight end. So they're going to be here. He's going to be getting off the line, creating that. What happens? Linebackers are going to start backing up again, okay? The corners are going to start backing up into a soft zone. Then you got them wheel routes in the middle here with AJ and with Devonta, who runs the best routes in the NFL. And you run them off the field. All you have to do is put on the film and watch the Giants. I don't know what Minnesota was doing. I mean, Minnesota put the worst. What were you watching? Can I tell you what I think happens? What I think happens so much to teams, they fall in love with their own personnel, and they don't really game plan what your opponent is. Man, you can really see certain coaches that know how to make the adjustments and attacking weaknesses. That Donatel guy in Minnesota, he should have been the first coach fired in the offseason. He was terrible in that game. Couldn't stop the run. Giants started getting – dude, who's the Giant tight end? He had a field day. That guy had a field day. Daniel Jones was throwing to dudes, and once Daniel Jones created 3rd down success, could somebody do me a favor? Tell me what the Giants were on 3rd down. Thank you guys for helping me so much. Can somebody Google me? Tell me what the Giants were on 3rd down against Minnesota, because I'm going to make my point. I don't know. Tell me what the Giants were on 3rd down. Okay? Joshua goes to tight ends, got a bright future. I never heard of him. What were the Giants against the Vikings on third down? And then you start putting that together if the Eagles do the right thing. Okay? No. I'm talking against Minnesota. They were 22nd. Not for the season, Tank. Against the Vikings. I want to know what their third down was against the Vikings. 7 of 13, 50%. Same as the Eagles. You're 50% on third down, you can't stop them, especially with a quarterback. Especially with a quarterback that ran for 71 yards and had a high completion percentage. You're not beating the Giants. There was your game. 7 of 13. That's Eagle numbers. They could not stop them on third down because the tight end could not be covered with the Giant tight end. That's what I witnessed. And that's why the Eagles and their coaches watch this show. That's how you beat the Giants. You start establishing Devonta and AJ out of the gate, you're going to lose. Those guys are going to be forces in the second half. They're going to be wide open in the second half. Wide open. But be patient. Be patient. Take care of the first half. Win first and second down. Third and short. Win third down. Get Goedert going. Keep pounding away at Miles. If you have to run Jalen in the RPOs to break down the perimeter, okay, we'll find out how healthy he is. That's also a key in this game. Okay, that's also a key. That's also a key. And sometimes, you break a film down, and I immediately see the weakness on the team. Like here, if I'm New York, do you guys want me to say what the weakness on the Eagles defense is? If I'm Daniel Jones? Okay. 85, Dan saw your 3-minute rant on Miami radio. Hey, 85, just so you know, 85, that was like 10 years ago that I did that. I love the Miami Hurricanes more than any football program in the country. I love that. But was I harsh on them? Was I harsh on them? Why wouldn't I be as harsh on something that I'm talking about daily? Because I want you to win and be great. That's all. R. Brown goes, you think they should get Miles Sanders? I wouldn't start doing things, R. Brown, that you haven't done during the regular season, like starting a screen game in the postseason. That's overcooking it. The Eagles don't have to overcook this game. Just your situational play calling has to be smart. It hasn't been for the last month. Okay? It hasn't been. I don't think they've been look, the game plan they put together for Gardner Minshew was trash. The game plan they put together for Jalen in Chicago was terrible. Okay? D-Mad, that's right. I want greatness for everybody. I've said this to you guys, and I'll say it again. Vince Lombardi told my uncle one of the most important things you could possibly have in your life. And I got it on my wall in a little card that he gave Robustelli. He told him when he got to the Packers in 1959, and I love talking like this and about this. He goes, gentlemen, we're going to strive every single day of our life for perfection. We're going to do everything we can to be perfect every single time we step on a football field. Every single time we're going to strive for perfection, knowing full well we'll never get there. So we're going to learn to live with greatness. If you strive for greatness, you'll be good. If you strive to be good, you'll be fair. If you strive to be fair, you're a loser. Set your heights as high as they can, and then learn to live with happiness. The problem what you have is when you're striving for greatness all the time, you're miserable. You don't get a chance to look up. Okay? You don't get a chance to look around and see your accomplishments. Okay? That's coaching. That's motivating. Here again, here's how the Giants are going. Here's what I would say this. Here's how the Giants are going to attack, I think, the Eagles. The Giants are 3-5-1 heading into the postseason. That was a heck of a performance. But if I were the Giants, okay, I would make sure. And can I tell you, don't you think this is why Brian Daboll played down Daniel Jones' performance against the Vikings? Don't you think he played that down for a reason? You don't want the Giants to feel you've played your best football. You want the Giants to feel your best football's yet to come. So if you start throwing parades and accolades out and you start telling somebody how great they are, and you got another game behind you here, you're going to still be reflecting back on what you did against Minnesota. Brian Daboll was asked a question. Hey, you had to be impressed with – you had to be impressed with the way that Daniel Jones played. He goes, hey, he really made a lot of great plays, and he really put us in a position to win. Okay? He really did some great things. And yeah, man, I'll tell you what. He was there just like everybody else. They played, they performed, and we got out of there with a victory. It wasn't like what everyone, because everyone in the meeting, including me, we're going, who is that guy? I couldn't believe who I was watching. Seriously, I could not believe that was Daniel Jones. I could not believe it. I'm like, that can't be that. That's not that guy. It's almost like he had a lobotomy. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. But he didn't play it up like that. He didn't play it all up like that. He played well. Put us in a position to succeed and win. Now we're on to the divisional round against the Eagles. That's how it was proposed to the media by Brian Daboll. I was like, holy shit, is that good coaching? He didn't get caught up in the moment like Nick does. Nick gets caught up in the moment. Brian Daboll didn't. There was a complete contrast in coaching styles right there. Daboll's not impressed. The only impressed thing he's going to be is when he wins a Super Bowl. Okay? Performance is, he's seen him. He's been around him. There's no question. He's seen him and been around him. Been around some great quarterbacks. Has helped a lot of great quarterbacks. Okay? Oh, I was impressed completely with Daniel Jones, Joshua. I mean, he systematically was the guy that went out there and beat them. He beat them. But like Seth said yesterday, I do think Barkley's the key to it. Barkley is like the center beam in a house. Okay? He is. You got to contain him. But here's how I would go after the Eagle. Here's how I'd go after the Eagle defense. Daniel Jones has got to get his tight end going because the Eagle linebackers can't cover tight ends either. They're not very good in the passing game. Kaiser White is below average. TJ Edwards is below average. Okay? However, you've got to get the running game going. How many times in the first half did you see New York with these just gigantic lanes? And for one thing you have to have, Tracy Rocker, I guarantee you this week, is talking about lane integrity. Stay in your gaps. Don't play high because the Giants are going to – and I personally don't think the Giants have a spectacular O-line. I think they're good, but I don't think they're great. Like, do I think the front seven of the Eagles is better? I do. Okay, I do. But the Eagles can't – the Eagles – what are the Eagles ranked? 16th in stopping the run? That's in the middle of the pack. It's improved. They were 22nd before they got Joseph and before they got Sue. Okay? They were 22nd. They improved. That's improvement. When you're in the middle of the pack and you've got numbers in takeaways and you've got numbers in sacks and you've got numbers on third down efficiency and least amount of points, and you're doing that, you're improving and you're a good unit. You can live with one of those numbers. But in the playoffs, to win playoff games, you got to run the ball. And the Giants can run the ball. The key is going to be Saquon Barkley. Okay? If they start pushing the rock and it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and Jones is able to get out in the perimeter and break the perimeter down like he did against Minnesota, that's going to be a fourth quarter football game. That'll be a fourth quarter game. And I'll tell you this, their defensive tackles can stop the Eagle run. I don't know. And I do not believe that the Giant ends can contain Jalen Hurts. I don't believe. Now, health is going to dictate this. What if he gets out in the perimeter, gets hit, and he gets hurt more? That limits the running attack. Boy, I'll tell you something. If I'm going to run Jalen Hurts in this game against the Giants, I'm going to pick my spots. I'm not going to have designed RPOs. I'm going to pick my spots when he sees fit, because why? Okay? Jalen is a tremendous decision maker in that RPO. He's the best decision maker I've ever seen running the RPO in the pros. That includes Lamar. I think sometimes in games, Lamar gets lost. And you'll see 3 and outs. Man, you don't see a lot of 3 and outs in Philly. Very rarely do you see. Now, the only reason that I thought you saw 3 and outs late in the season is because Goedert was out. And dumbass coaches on the sidelines tried to get the perimeter guys instead of getting Miles Sanders established. And that's why it waffled a little bit. And that's why you were suspect in some of the games, like against the Saints and Cowboys. The Eagles are not beating teams by establishing the wideouts. The wideouts are the frosting on the cake. Goedert, Jalen, and Sanders, that's your meat and potatoes. That's your main course. That's who you are. That's your identity. That's how you become 14-3. Those 2,000 wide receivers is a tremendous accomplishment. But the only reason that they got that is because of the established identity of the team. Get this. When you ask anybody, if you were to give the identity of the team for the Eagles, watch this. Yeah, they're a power team. How many times have you ever said that a team with 2,000-yard wide receivers was a power team and not a finesse team? You have 2 1,000-yard receivers. Tell you what, the receivers in Cincinnati, that's a finesse team. Mixon's a good back. There's some physicality in there. Watch this. I would never say Kansas City's a... Would you say Kansas City is a power team? I wouldn't. I would never say Kansas City's a power team. Who's their power back? Their quarterback doesn't run for yards. Okay? Right? See this all the time. Don't get away from it. Don't establish the wideouts in this game against New York. Yeah, but Kelsey's not a physical point of attack guy at the line of scrimmage to get a run game going. Goedert is. Hey, you want to hear this? If I had a passer like Joe Burrow, I'd want I'd want Travis Kelce every day. If I had a power running team, I'd want Dallas Goedert, and I'd want that kid Kittle, and I'd want the kid up in Baltimore every day over that dude. Travis Kelce, to me, is a better version of Jason Witten. He ain't a very good blocker. I wouldn't go like this. I wouldn't call him a sixth offensive lineman. Goedert is. Kittle is. He puts people on their back. I get it, Yale. I know what you're talking. I know you know what you're talking about. Okay, I get it. I get it. Eagles not a passing offense. Remember that, Sills, when you tell us everyone is better pass. You're missing a point. Not even that. Okay? Jalen Hurts is not. If Jalen Hurts couldn't run, he's never going to win in this league. He'll be out of the league in 2 years if he couldn't run. Same as Lamar. Same as Kyler. Okay? The only reason Josh Allen is that guy is because he can throw the ball. Michael Vick, if he couldn't run, he's not winning games in the pocket. RG3 proved it. Couldn't run? Bye. And he was a rookie of the year. See ya. Once they took his wheels away, RG3 was lost. Facts. Sills, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I bet you'll find something negative to say. No, because I picked them to get there. And I picked them to get there. I don't think they're beating the Bills or the Bengals. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle against the Jags. Oh, my God. Doug Peterson wins 2 playoff games and Sirianni gets bounced by the Giants. You're right. His job is safe. Oh. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, no, you're probably right. That'll be an easy Monday. Oh my, hey, guess what? If that happens, the Jags win and upset the Chiefs and the Eagles get bounced, I'm just going to turn the freaking show on and not say anything, probably for the first 5 minutes. Jalen's like, what was he? 23 of 46, like he was in the last playoff game against the Buccaneers. Sirianni being on the hot seat is clickbait. This guy Wick didn't get anything I said. Sirianni on a hot. Does it matter? He's a puppet. He's Mike McCarthy. Oh, no, wait. I'll tell you what he does better at. He's good at starting a wave in Indianapolis. Okay? He's good at starting a wave. That's right for Frank. Half the audience went, who's Frank? That's for Frank. Okay, Nick. Okay, brother. It's all good. Look at Marcus. Still hating on the Eagles? No, you're going to win Saturday and you're going to go to the Super Bowl. You can take the rest of the day off now, Marcus. Frank who? Hey, how about this? Wait a minute. Meanwhile, see, Xander always goes to the wallet. Always remember that. When you talk to Xander, there's only 2 things that matter. Views and wallets. Okay? Just remember that. Views and cashola. Frank's got the next 3 years making $9 million sitting at home going, hey, how you doing? Hey? Yeah, I'll be a consultant. Hey, what do you want me to consult on? Yeah, I'm a consultant at $9 million. And the pill poppers got to pay him. How great is that, too? The pill poppers got to pay him the extension for the next 3 years, $9 million. Let me see. My math says $27 million to Colts for not coaching his team. What a dummy. Dude, the Colts are paying Frank Reich $27 million not to coach the team. And you got Jeff Saturday as your interim guy. Man. Dude, you can't look. If I'm Frank, you look great being fired. You got 20, dude, you didn't get 27 million because you sucked. You got 27 million because you moved the sticks in Indy. And by the way, go back and look at Wentz's numbers. That's the last year Wentz will have good numbers. He'll never put up good numbers again. 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns to 7 picks. Had a 97 quarterback ranking. They were 9-8 with him. Okay? 66% completion percentage. Wentz is never going to put numbers like that up again. And I don't know if the Colts ever will have a quarterback put numbers like that up again. Look at Go Sixers. Frank got a raw deal. Hey, Sixer, he got a raw deal, $27 million to sit at home? I don't know. I don't know if that's a raw deal or not. Can I have a raw deal like that? Dude, Jameson, if Big Sills had 3 years at $27 million, I swear to you, I would buy this island off the coast of Florida called Peanut Island. It used to be like the bomb shelter for President Kennedy in the 60s. And I would buy Peanut Island, and there'd be no way but to get to Peanut Island but a boat. I would make that island into my own domicile, and if my wife is bad, I would send her to the part of the island where she could have her own little cabana. And Big Sills would sit in the Big Sills dungeon, and he would sit in his own, because as you can imagine, Big Sills don't get out a lot. You'd have to, that's right. You'd have to ferry it across the sea. Is Sileo? I hear there's Sileo. And they would see a guy sitting on a rock on the top of the mountain. Who is that up there? Is that Howard Hughes? Or is that Big Sills? Holy cow, it's Big Sills. Look at his beard. He looks like the guy on Castaway. Be up there, and I got a cane fishing pole. And I'd be sitting there going like this. And then if you came to the island, I'd get my bazooka out and blow your brains out. Big, I don't know, Maniac. Sileo Island. I think it'd be called Big Sills Island. Hey, Tone. I'd have a bazooka on the rock too, man. Anyone come there, man, it's out. Xander would have to go. Xander, Tone. We're on the ferry. All right, come on, let's go. All right, come on, let's go. We're good. You guys are allowed. I'd be looking like the guy on Castaway. Sileo craps outside. Yep. All right, let me take a timeout. Top of the hour, O.J. Anderson. We'll get the Giants' perspective on how this thing's been turned around over the last couple weeks here and that performance that Daniel Jones put on. Also, I got another topic I want to throw between Jalen and Daniel Jones. We'll do that next. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football